Hello everyone and welcome, and today I'm going to talk about The Flash issue 22 part 4 and the finale of the Batman Flash crossover titled The Button. And this issue starts where Batman issue 22 part 3 left off, where the Reverse Flash is running basically to his death, and Batman and Flash are trying to convince him to not go, convincing him that if he goes, he will die, or at least slow down and let us go with you. And of course, the Reverse Flash is like, fuck you guys, I'm going, I'm going to be the most powerful person in the history of any mankind, and I'm going to be everything that I should be and more. And he's saying all these threatening things towards Barry and Bruce, and definitely towards Barry. Just that there's the whole Reverse Flash killed Barry's mom, and when Barry was a child, there's this whole thing about like, after I kill your mother, I'm going to pretend I'm the friendly neighbor, and then I'll convince them to have me as your guardian, and you will be raised by me, and I will treat you like shit. Batman, Flash, can't make it. The Reverse Flash dies. We see how it went, but he dies by Dr. Manhattan. But then the cosmic treadmill breaks, and they're trying to, Bruce and Barry are holding on. They're like, we need to hold on. We need to, find out who killed the Reverse Flash. But out of the blue, there's a whisper of a voice that's speaking, Barry, Flash, it's Jay, remember? And then Barry's like, Jay, and then Jay Garrick pops out of the Speed Force. And if you don't know who Jay Garrick is, Jay Garrick was the first Flash in the Golden Age, which is the beginning of superhero comics. There was a lot of characters that you do not know existed. It did. Superman was created, and Superman was created in the Golden Age. Batman was created in the Golden Age by Bill Finger and Bob Kane, and Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and there was a Green Lantern who wasn't named Hal Jordan or anything dealing with space. There was no Star Wars connection at all. But and Jay Garrick was just a fast dude. There was no time travel involved. But then in the 50s, there was a Comics Code thing because parents and the government felt that comics were mucking. Basically, if you read comics, superhero comics, your child is going to go violent, which is a total bullshit. A few got cancelled. The only ones that were surviving was Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And Jay Garrick was no longer Flash until the 80s, when they did this whole thing where Barry Allen met Jay Garrick, and a long history came along, Justice Society and stuff like that. So that's basically who Jay Garrick is. And Jay Garrick shows up. He saves Flash and Batman, and they arrive into the Batcave. And Jay is basically saying to Barry, do you remember me? You remember Wally? You must remember me, right? I mean, my name is Jay. Barry's like, no, I don't remember you. I'm sorry. I assume that you know me, but I don't remember you for a bizarre reason. And then Jay fades away and back into the Speed Force. Now, and in time, and it ends with Bruce and Barry at a funeral talking about the case, what they just saw, the whole him meeting Bruce is asking the person who took 5 years of our lives, why did they let me see my father once again for a short time? Why is this stuff happening? And it ends with us going off Earth onto this like let's say walk station, if I may say. It's like a floating walk in space with the Watchman pin where the Reverse Flash got burned and got killed, picked up by a blue hand, and that's pretty much saying Dr. Manhattan. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of people who know Red Watchman may never seen even the. And my thoughts is this story, it's a damn good prequel. And because of the ending of Dr. Manhattan, I do have some speculations, really. It asks you so many questions, so many things that's happened out through the story, which is like, due to the fact they hint the whole, something doing with Superman, like, what does Superman have to do with it, with this? Is this hinting something? Why did Dr. Manhattan let Bruce to see Thomas once again? See his father that he hasn't seen since he was like 10 or 8, whatever version of the story that you're reading. So many questions. Now, I do have speculation why. Here's some pop quiz to people who have read Watchmen. Who is pretty much the Batman of the Watchmen characters? Yeah, Rorschach, right? And how did Rorschach died? Dr. Manhattan killed him. Well, I wouldn't be shocked there's this kind of... I think Dr. Manhattan has a sense of regretness that he did. He regrets of killing Rorschach. He regrets of what he did, and he feels like if I amends it to this other dude who's pretty much nearly the same, because he doesn't kill, nearly the same, and stitch up the hole that he has for the last 5 years, for the last 30 years. Maybe things can patch up. No, I will say this: the whole thing of Bruce Wayne not being Batman is a positive, because he will be Batman in 6 months. Let's be honest. And I think he will be Batman not now due to the oath of his parents, but now it's going to be being Batman makes him happy. I think that's going to be it. Because it is kind of weird that, Dr. Manhattan is like, everybody's going to be happy and cheerful, but instead of this one dude, we're just going to make him happy miserably throughout his life. Like, it is kind of weird. But anyway, this is a really good story. This is a really good prequel. If you know the basics of Batman and Flash, you will understand who these characters are. And basically, due to the fact that the whole Jay Garrick thing, hey, you don't know who Jay Garrick is? Barry doesn't remember who Jay Garrick is, and Batman doesn't know who Jay Garrick is. So, it's that whole thing. If you know Watchmen or you've seen the movie, you will know what happened to it. So, I think